it occurs to me that the problem with recording programming, or videos of programming, is that 80% of programming is me sitting and staring at the screen thinking. And most of the other 20% is me making typos. So, we have, after sitting and staring at the screen thinking for about half an hour, which I have not recorded, I've come up with a solution to the problem that calculating objects need to be able to change the world. So we have a change type with a list of objects to add to the world, a list of objects in the world to alter, and a list of objects in the world to delete. So now every calc function needs to return one of these suckers. So we have a couple of functions to name words. To make this a bit easier, and we might even rustle things together a bit so that it gets a bit more efficient, but that's not really a problem at the moment. Might as well keep this at least somewhat consistent. So once we have all of these written, then we have to go through the main loop and make it actually recognize and do all of these alterations to the world state on each calculation. And I'm also not very good at thinking and typing and saying stuff all at the same time, so if you're lucky you might get 1 out of 3, which isn't really the best skill for doing this sort of thing. Okay, so that's that. And we need to mess with the generic calc method to change what it returns for the nth time. I've considered doing what my friend David did and running these at 4 times speed or whatever and setting them to music or at least making annotations. But then you wouldn't understand what the hell is going on. Okay. That looks good. So now instead of... well, let's look at the function that actually does calculations. So this is going to have to get more complicated. Instead of just getting a list of new objects made from the old objects, we're going to have to actually get a list of get a list of alterations to the world and do it to the world. And I hope the video is still recording. Well, I'll trust that it is, I guess. Okay, so how do we do that? So this is mostly the same. The doCalc2 function just takes a list and takes a list of objects and applies the calc function to each one, optionally removing one if it returns a none option, which was my old way of saying that the object had been destroyed. But we're going to have to change that a bit. Well, just comment all of this out. Okay. We are going to get a list full of changes, and we need to turn it into three lists of changes. One for all the objects to add, one for all the objects to remove, and one for all the objects to alter. So that gets us all the list of changes. I'm looking up the type signature for the fold function, which is what we want, but which I can never remember. Okay, it takes an initial value and returns, and then a list of values. So okay. So we decompose the tuples that this change object is made out of and build a new tuple with the new changes added. Actually, I'm not sure that will work. That will not work. Okay, no. We do not cons the new lists on, we concatenate them, which is less efficient, but whatever. So okay, that does what we want. Right. So we have a function to basically merge a new change into an already existing set of changes, and now we just apply that to our initial change, or our empty change object. No change, that's it.